Hello everybody, Brennan with Two Dudes One Dredge, back with a midwinter little project video. Been working on a few things and got a little furnace set up to smelt down some gold and punch out some cute little branded tokens, I guess. Little placer Two Dudes One Dredge coins. So I'm gonna get the furnace heated up and melt some of the gold down, pour a little ingot for you, and then I got some other tools over here that I'll show you what we're working on this winter. So here's the furnace in action, set up in the garage. Preheating a little mold down there. See my gold scrap sitting in the crucible, getting up to temp with some propane. Seems to work well, and all we did was take our finds from our placer dredging this summer and last, and threw them in there with some borax and a couple other things, melted it right down and got it going into pretty nice looking ingots. So we decided it'd be cool to mint our own little Two Dudes One Dredge gold tokens for keepsakes and giveaway purposes, you know, friends and family. And we are only a few hundred subscribers away from the sweet spot of 1,000, so we thought that's exciting and worth celebrating. So we were going to you know, pick a random subscriber from the first 1,000 there to potentially win a little gold token. We're not exactly sure how that's going to work, and we're not there yet, but we'll give you more details as we get there. Never thought, you know, 10 people would want to watch our videos, let alone nearly 1,000. So we can't thank you guys enough, and I'm going to let this keep melting, and I'll come back to you when we got our little ingot to work with. All right, ran out of propane there, switched over to MAP, and I think we're almost ready for a pour here. So let's see if I can do this as smoothly as possible. Not too bad. Oh, always makes me a little nervous. We got a decent looking pour. I'm just going to put those back in there so they don't crack as they cool. And give you a gander, if it'll focus, at our little piece of gold. Just going to give it a quench, and then I'll flip the camera around and show the rest of the process here. All right, cool to the touch, ready to be worked. Something I've been taught and told is gold work hardened, so I'm going to keep the torch nearby just to give it a little heat and anneal it so it won't fray as we flatten it. This is the newest toy, the ring roller. Just a cheap import, but from my couple of tests I've done, it gets the job done plenty fine enough for us. And we have a target thickness that I'm going to roll this out to before we take it back into the warm house and start punching out rounds from this baby. It's a millimeter or two at a time. There we are, a few passes in. Starting to flatten. Starting to curl a little bit, but Seems to be unavoidable. Best I can do is kind of tap it back into shape with a hammer, but I'm going to keep working on this for a bit and show you once we get her a bit thinner. Give her a little warm up with the torch, keep things soft and moving. Try not to melt it. Certainly done that before. Nice. Those big rollers sure take a lot of heat out of it. Progress check here. Just going to see how our thickness is coming along. It's like a little thick for what we need it for, but we're getting close. Alright, now that it's really thin, it'll heat up really fast, and I've melted it before. First run trying this out, so just a tiny bit of heat. Soften her back down. Punch her through those reels one more time. Alright. Heats up fast, cools down fast, immediately safe to touch. We're getting close. These last few passes, I won't be touching the adjust dial too much. I'm just trying to make sure that it is uniform. If you send it through once or twice one way, it might bunch up weird. And if the rollers are uneven, which I'm sure they are, need to even things out. So check that again. Pretty thin there. Just about 0.02 to 0.03 inches, I believe, is the sweet spot. Well, that's it. Big old sheet of gold, ready to get stamped. So let me take you in the house and show you what the final process here looks like. All right, back in the house, warming up, and got a little hole punch. So I'm just going to take a good old whack with the hammer here, try and get a good half-inch round, or a few at least, out of this gold. Should be able to get 3 or 4 out of this sheet. And save the scraps, as always. Give that a good clamp. Alright, excuse the loud noise. One good whack seems to do it. More than that, and you're just playing with it. Went ahead and jinxed myself. But that is the finished blank. Little 1/2-inch gold round. I'm going to punch a few more out, and then I'll move on to the next step. There you go. 5 little golden cookies. It's a tiny bit shy on this final end. Getting one more there, but give these a weigh up really quick because we're trying to be as consistent as we can, making sure they're all about the same size. $1.167 1.122 1.159 1.164 and 1.128. So they're all 1.1 grams, give or take a couple of tenths and thousandths, but pretty good there. So that's 5.5 roughly. And there's the other 5.5. I started with just a hair over 11 grams when I got going. And that's just the stuff that was like minus 50 mesh that we really have no practical use for, except for hoarding like dragons, you know? So this will get remelted and reused in further batches, and these 5 little tokens here will get punched and stamped. And I even went through the trouble of making a little one-sided low relief. We'll get a focus on there. TDOD, 2 dudes, 1 dredge. Reasonably well polished and flat. It's my first time doing anything quite like this, so feel free to leave comments with critiques and suggestions. Happy to learn as we go along. And then nothing on the back side of the die. I've just got a blank on that end and a little piece of tubing to kind of collar it all together. And give it a good hearty whack. And there you go. Certainly needs a little work. Could certainly use practice working making the dies and polishing off some of this grease and stuff, of course, but that's basically the finished product. Little 1 gram plus at least, 2 dudes, 1 dredge, raw placer token. I'm certainly happy I've kind of gotten this far, making little gold coins and tokens and stuff, and all these scraps are still good for another 5 coins, theoretically. So kind of a cool little process to learn and skill to have in the tool belt. But certainly leave us a comment and be sure to subscribe, because once we get closer to 1,000, we'd right happy to send one of these off to our one of our fans and subscribers. I think it's so cool that people want to watch us doing something we're so darn passionate about. And I know James is biting at the bit to get back out and dredge the river a bit, but we're still probably a couple months out from there before roads accessible and the water's melted and we can actually get in the water. But Heck, I'm looking forward to it, and you might see a video from James here in the coming weeks as he's doing some gold related stuff of his own, and yeah, looking forward to that. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next video, and hopefully it'll be back on the river. Take care.